Writing to Testify by Terri Bale. That's me. Introduction. In that for decades, TV has been the most significant medium of the media network. What can be said of TV can be said of all the other media, generally speaking. So, to be brief, much of the time I will refer to mass media as TV and leave you to consider the generalizations that are to be made. When we think of moving pictures, TV, movies, videos, etc., we make the mistake of thinking that we're dealing with something new because of its technology. But it's just the equipment that's new, while the effect that the images have on our minds is about as old as the hills. Illusions, images, and the power of suggestion have been used against people all through history by the deceivers of their times. Yet the super images that we have today have a programming potential that has never before been seen or tested. In the past, we have thought it all harmless enough, providing one avoids the pitfalls, and we have been willing to be the guinea pigs for this technological wonder worker because we think of the great potential for good that it has. We see the good and restrain our judgment on the bad, and we wait to see what will be. But all this dynamic potential for programming didn't just pop into existence for no particular reason, and neither did our addiction to it. There is a purpose to it all, and we share in the responsibility of it, for as individuals en masse, we have allowed ourselves to be seduced by entertainment, and we have fallen in love with deception. Without the deception and the grip it has on us, we never could have arrived at the state we find ourselves in today. But who says it has a grip on us? You talk as though we've swallowed it hook, line, and sinker. The kids have swallowed it. Everybody has swallowed it. We want what we see on TV, we imitate what we see on TV, and we dwell on what we see on TV. Our houses are crammed with evidence, and so are our lives and our minds. And the kids are more affected than anybody. TV is really one enormous experiment. No other generation of children in all of history has been exposed to such a tremendous amount and unheard of intensity of programming. Not even we had it this bad growing up. It seems that we even have a new category of mental illness caused by reality deprivation combined with illusion saturation. But there has been little attention given to it because those who suffer from it are soon found to fit nicely into other categories already established, such as incorrigible, antisocial, hyperactive, delinquent, criminal, anorexic, drug addicted, suicidal, neurotic, etc. But as the primary cause is not identified, it remains untreated, and those affected continue to suffer and to fill out the ranks of the infamous and the doomed. These are our children. These will be, or would be, the leaders of our society in our lifetime. Do we dare to continue the experiment? Shall we continue to let high-tech and high-strategy programming babysit our kids for us, just because it's considered normal? And even if we do decide that it's too much for the kids, is it really safe for us? If it's in the house, the kids will get to it. If it's in the house, it will get to us. It's also possible that it already has. The increase in the occurrence of Alzheimer's disease may well be attributable to, at least in part, to this same mental illness. This notion may seem far-fetched, yet not so far-fetched when you stop to consider that in our modern, technologically advanced society, our reasoning is no longer anchored in first-hand experience. We also no longer take the time to mentally dig down, or to reach out, or to challenge or debate issues for ourselves, to establish our minds so that they may endure both the pressures of life and the test of time. Instead, our thought processes are dominated by programming which directs our thoughts along prepackaged, simplistic, and shallow-rooted channels, which are specifically designed to be repetitive and irresistibly attractive, so that even when we're not watching TV, the programming will continue to have its effect as it runs through our minds in a never-ending stream of simplistic, pre-programmed sequences. With all of this on its side, the erosion of old age has little work to do in toppling our mental capacities. But the problem is larger than it appears, in that the symptoms of this reality deprivation, combined with illusion saturation, can be observed in even the most stable of those who submit to mass media programming. To put it briefly, the input that we direct our lives by and structure our thoughts around is, to a large extent, artificial, contrived, and erroneous. Yet we accept it, fully believing that we are dealing with reality. This is not reality, and this is not healthy, even if it is normal. Why can't we recognize the illness? Because we've all got it. As significant as all this may sound, this paper is not being written as a warning against the hazards of excess TV viewing. The purpose of this paper is to make people aware of a much greater danger, and to point to the cause, and to disclose the mystery that accompanies it. The danger is this, that we are, at a crucial time in history, being systematically starved and programmed into a state of mental weakness, from which we may not be able to extricate ourselves. It is certain by the evidence around us that we will not be able to extricate ourselves in time, or in large enough numbers to save our society. However, there is hope for the individual, but it will take not only independent thinking, but independent action as well. But after all these decades of gradually coming to believe that TV is reality, and that life without it would be unthinkable, unbearable, and impossible, it will take more than we will find within ourselves to break the hold that it has on us. It is true indeed. We have swallowed it, hook, line, and sinker, and it will take the intervention of God Almighty to save us. Someone might ask, when it began, TV was basically neutral, and it had such a potential for good. It had such a potential, but even then it was only in theory. But now we can see what it has actually done. And as for TV having been neutral, it may also be argued that an idol of wood or clay or stone, etc., is only a neutral lump of raw material until the making of it is complete and people enter into a relationship with it. But concerning TV, how early on was it that we began to laugh with it and cry with it and look forward to the companionship of our favorite characters? Has TV ever gone out of style since it came in? Has it ever sat forgotten and neglected for months at a time? Did any person ever sell their TV in order to pay a bill or buy a better couch? Hardly. Why? Because it is not a neutral object. It is active and lively and personal, albeit artificially personal. It's not like something we sit on, or use, or look at. It's something we relate to as we would to a person that is not a person and is not God, and as such it is an idol, and such a one as has never been seen before. And that's all I'll read for now. It's better I do this in, say, 10-minute increments, I think. So that was points 1, 2, and 3 on pages 1 and 2 of Writing to Testify by Terri Bale. Thank you for listening.